This story isn't a ghost story. There's no monster hiding in the closet, no curse written in blood. It's about a house that still exists, and the people who vanished inside it. Everything I'm about to tell you actually happened. It's all in public records. But the scariest part is that nobody noticed how it all connected until it was too late. In 2014, a couple named Mark and Dana Lawson bought a small two-story house on Ashwood Lane in rural Ohio. It wasn't special. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and a big yard choked with weeds. They bought it cheap because the previous owner had left town suddenly. At first, everything was fine. Their 6-year-old daughter, Lily, chose the pink room. Dana planted a small garden. They were happy. But from the first week, Mark noticed something strange about the basement door. Every morning, it was open. He'd close it before bed, even wedge a chair under the knob. But by sunrise, it would be cracked open again. He figured the wood was warping from humidity. Until one night, he set up his old hunting camera facing the door. The next morning, he checked the footage. The door never moved, not once. But at 3:14 in the morning, for exactly 2 seconds, the screen went completely black. No sound, no movement, just static, and then normal again. Over the next few weeks, the house began to change. At night, they heard a faint metallic dragging sound coming from beneath the floorboards. Not footsteps, not pipes, but something heavy, scraping slowly through the dark. Then Dana started finding piles of dirt near the basement door. Not dust, not sand. Actual soil, like someone had been digging underground. One afternoon, their neighbor, an older man named Henry, came by with a basket of apples. He looked nervous when he saw the house. He asked, "You bought this place?" Mark laughed and said, "Yeah, they got it for a steal." Henry didn't smile. He just shook his head and said quietly, "Sometimes things are cheap because people want them gone." That night, Mark sat down at his laptop to look up the property's history. But there was nothing. No property records before 2014. No sale documents. No listed previous owner. Even the county archive showed a blank entry for the address. It was like the house didn't exist before they moved in. By October, the noises had stopped. For the first time, the house was silent. Mark thought maybe whatever it was had passed. But that quiet didn't feel peaceful. It felt empty. One evening, he came home early from work. Dana's car was in the driveway. The lights were off. He called out her name. No answer. He checked the kitchen, the bedrooms, even the backyard. Nothing. Then he noticed a faint glow leaking from under the basement door. He called her name again. Still nothing. When he opened the door, a rush of cold air hit his face. The single bare bulb in the basement was on. The floor was covered in dirt. And right in the middle was a hole, 3 feet wide, freshly dug, leading straight down into blackness. Mark shouted for Dana again, but only his echo came back. He leaned over with a flashlight. That's when he saw it. A staircase. A narrow concrete staircase descending deeper underground. There was no record of it on the house's blueprints. He called 911. When police arrived, they found Mark sitting at the base of the stairs, shaking, mumbling over and over. They built on top of it. They built over it. Dana was gone. The investigation uncovered something the town had buried for decades. The house on Ashwood Lane had been built over the foundation of an older structure, a medical facility that was shut down in the 1950s. Its name was the Ashwood County Tuberculosis Sanatorium. Back in 1953, during a partial collapse, 22 patients and 3 staff members vanished. Their bodies were never recovered. Instead of demolishing the site, the county filled it in and quietly sold the land years later. Underneath Mark and Dana's home was an entire level of sealed hospital corridors. untouched since the day of the collapse. When police entered the underground area, they found things that should not have survived 60 years. Patient belongings, rings, watches, notebooks. And on the lowest level, a surgical room. Stainless steel tables rusted to the floor, and a single light still flickering, powered by an ancient generator. There was no sign of Dana, no sign of anyone alive. The house was condemned a month later. But before it was demolished, Mark was allowed back inside to collect a few belongings. On the basement stairs, he found something the police had missed: a small digital voice recorder. It had one audio file on it. The timestamp matched the night Dana disappeared. The recording begins with footsteps. Then Dana's voice, calling softly, "Mark?" Then a metallic dragging sound. Then silence. After a few seconds, a whisper, faint, right against the microphone, says, "They never left." The tape ends with a loud splash, like someone falling into deep water. Investigators confirmed the recorder was real, but the voice couldn't be matched to anyone. The house was destroyed in 2016, but the lot is still fenced off today. Grass won't grow there, animals avoid it. And if you stand by the fence at night, some people say you can still hear it. That slow, metallic dragging, echoing up from the ground. They say some stories are legends, but others are warnings.